you're focusing on data analysis. The project is all about, think about that in an interview, you have 2 minutes or maybe 4 minutes to tell about what you have done. Almost every interview, this question will be there. Interview, the most important question is tell me more about your project. And this project, even you have done in few weeks, you can say you have worked for 6 months. Make sense? The reason, it will be compelling story. If you are telling us a story, so example, what tools you use, right? What was the business problem you had, right? What approach you selected, what architecture you did, how did you plan, how did you work with your team member, which is called resources, right? What challenges you had. All those things, in my understanding, it's very, very impressive. What key learning you had, all those things will be helpful. Now, most of the time, your interview goes the way you want. Most of the time, the interview goes the way you want. Most people make mistakes. They don't set the first, what you call, when they ask opening speech. The first opening speech is decisive speech. They will ask you, tell me more about yourself. If they ask, tell me more about yourself, like this, tell me more about yourself, like the way I would start opening speech is called E, and E. Start with a very simple thing. If you have impressive education, like some of you are bachelors, some of you are masters, some of you are PhD or MBA, start with your education, which is relevant. So I always say, you know what, I have computer engineering. So then suddenly you talk about education or experience, right? So if you have experience, you should always talk about, let's say you have 4 to 5 years of experience. Some of you, I have 30+ years of experience. But what I do is experience-wise, I kind of highlight key items. So like example, I started as a programmer, right? And then I become a project manager, then director, then VP, and And then specific thing I spell out called expertise, which is specific according to job description. So in your Python, you can say, you know, I have worked with Python object-oriented programming, I use Flask, I use web services, I have developed data analysis with the NumPy, PandaPy. I set the stage. Now, most of the questions in interview will come from this. Now, if you don't have experience, your academic project experience is helpful. Your internship project is helpful. But if you don't have these, getting clear interview is almost difficult, I would say, almost impossible type of thing, because you are now giving them open freedom. If you start your opening speech with this, you kind of lock down, you give them boundary, what kind of things they will ask. Like example, they will ask, tell me more about what did you use in Flask? Tell me more about what did you use web service? Tell me more about this. So more and more you ask, easier it will become for you, right? Now, after a couple of questions, they normally ask about behavioral. So some of you are working really good with the team. So team dynamic questions will be there. And team dynamic questions only you can learn when you work in project. Some of you are very good in I would say communication. I can see from your presenting or working with your team, you will have a plus point, because in an interview, people will ask. Second thing, they will talk about process, what you know. Most of you know Agile Scrum. If you do not know Agile Scrum, Friday class you should take, because you should use Agile, iterative, incremental. You do planning, you do retrospective, you do discussions, fail fast, fail often, use some verbiage. And then most of the important is creativity, right? Creativity, how you solve the problem, right? What kind of way you address the problem. Many of you rush the problem solving, some of you think before you act, because it's very important. Find out, we call always, what are the options we have, right? And then you compare pros and cons, right? Like what should we work on? Like example, I have 5 options. Should I do first option, second option? And then you evaluate, like technology-wise, feasibility-wise, time-wise, cost-wise, experience-wise, lots of things you compare, and then you make decisions. The first thing you do always in technical world is a POC. POC stands for proof of concept. Ideally, POC should be done in 1 or 2 days. In an agile world, we call spike. You always do spike when you start a brand new project. And if you have not done this thing, then this learning, which if you ask me, you know almost everything. but this won't be valuable unless you kind of convert that in. So make sure you use what POC have done. And most important thing, like example, somebody asked, what's next? What you are learning next? So have some word, like example, from those who know Python. Those who know Python, they can go for like example, Databricks, right? Databricks is natural. You can go for Snowflake. You can go for Redshift. You can go for other aspects of like, in our cases, like example, Spark, big data. These are natural next term. So they may ask, okay, what are you learning new? What are the things you are developing? Make sure you are ready to answer. Don't say, I'm revisiting, I'm reviewing that. No, next. Because right now, AIML is all about this technology. So AIML, whenever you talk about AIML, you're talking about all those things. These are like large scale of AIML. Because if you want to do AIML, you will be using Python. Python is the programming language, but you use with the framework. Either Spark, Redshift is AWS, Snowflake is different, Databricks is itself is a company with Azure. So you have to have that story, like I'm learning. And then they may ask about what's your career desire? Where you want to see in next 3 years, 5 years? This is like natural questions. Now, I'll be honest with you. Those who do not do lab, homework, project, it's a lip service. You will not be able to convince them. But those who are doing that, it will be like passionate. You will say, first, I'll start as a programmer. Then I'll go after a couple of years, I want to be a senior programmer. Then I will be team lead, right? And then I will be a project manager. You have to have clear roadmap for your career. If you're not having clear roadmap, then they will think you're not like career oriented, means you're task oriented, you get negative point. Most important, energy during this exercise. So if you are presenting, I want you to present such a way that you're in interview, you and your group. Do your best, right? Try not to use any negative word. Make sure your audio video is clear. Whenever you say, oh, it's not working, let me try, that's called beginner mindset. Instantly it should work. Instantly, it should like a pro. How do I share screen? It's not working. Those beginner mindset. Make sure you are prepared. Everyone will have sharply 15 minutes. So you have 15 minutes and 5 minutes for question answer. When you are presenting your slides, make sure you have smooth transition among your team members. It should look like a movie. It should look like an orchestrated by good team. And then last slide, you keep it so I can ask some questions.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Now I invite Eric to start the presentation.
Good morning, fellow classmates and Mr. Patel. My name is Eric. Before we get into the technical side of our project, we'd like to start by giving you a quick overview of our presentation structure to show you how we approach the assignment and what you can expect as we walk through it. For the introduction, we'll start up by introducing our team, sharing how we collaborated, and briefly touching on what the assignment from ABC Bank entailed. This part sets the stage for everything that follows and gives context to the work we've done. The overview of the project. Next, we will provide a high-level view of the project itself, the data structure we are working with, what the files contain, and the main goals we were tasked with. Essentially, we'll explain what the bank gave us and what they wanted in return. Key components. This will be the core of our presentation. We'll go step by step through each task we were asked to perform. How many files and how many records were in each, then identifying the highest and lowest balances per file across all files, followed by the breakdown of savings and checking accounts and their total balances. Finally, we'll demonstrate the Python program that powered these tasks, showcasing how we transferred or transformed raw data into meaningful insights. Each team member contributed to these components, and we're excited to show you the results we uncovered. And for the conclusion, we'll wrap things up, highlighting what we delivered, how we ensured accuracy, and the value this brings to ABC Bank. Then we'll open to the floor for any questions you might have. So let's start with a quick introduction to the team behind this project. We're a group of programmers brought on to tackle this assignment from ABC Bank, and each one of us brings a unique strength to the table. First up, we'll have Debbie, next Becky, and then Indu, and lastly myself, Eric, to take it home for the conclusion. Together, we approach this project with collaboration, communication, and code, and we're excited to show you what we've done. And with that, let's jump into the heart of it all, our overview of project slide, where we lay out all the core structure, workflow, and what we set out to achieve. This project focused on analyzing customer account data across multiple files provided by ABC Bank. Each file had the same format: ID, name, balance, and account type. We were tasked with the following: count how many files were provided and how many records were in each. Identify who had the highest and lowest balance in each file. Find the single highest and lowest balance across all files combined. Count how many accounts were in savings and check-ins. Calculate the total money in savings and check-ins accounts separately. And as extra credit, we merged all the data into one clean combined file. With this project overview in place, it is time to dig into data. Debbie, take it from here.
Well, thank you, Eric. All right, let's start with the data folder. The data folder is where our bank project are stored. It contains the CSV files that hold customer account details, such as the ID and the name and the balances and the type of accounts. Basically, think of it as a digital filing cabinet that keeps all of our financial information organized for us. It's important because it allows us to track how many accounts exist, how much money is in a savings account or a checking account, and also the customer trends. Inside the folder is customer names, the account types, the balances, and transaction history. The data is processed using a program that analyzes trends. It counts the number of accounts, finds the highest and lowest balances, and it creates a report. This helps the bank monitor customer balances and helps detect any unusual activity that's going on the account. Our program will automate the process, which makes it easier to generate these reports without manual calculations. Everything is stored in a structured format that makes it easier to track the trends over time. Think of it this way. The folder is like a storage room full of paper bank statements. If we had to count and analyze all those records manually, it would take days and possibly weeks to get that done. But with our program, we can scan through everything in minutes and then create an easy to read report at the end. And now I will pass it over to Becky.
Thank you, Debbie, for walking us through the data folder. Library is an important component of our project. The libraries that we use are in the following categories: file handling, file pattern matching and search, operating system interaction, data manipulation, and PDF generation as a form of data visualization. Having introduced the libraries, my colleague Indu will now guide you through the data files.
Bank, we merge the data from these files into a text file and use the folder path and the merged text file in a Python program to generate the bank report. Let me walk you through the live demo. This is the program we created for this project. This was the library files in this program. For each task, we have used a function to generate the output. Here in this statement, it retrieves all the CSV file from the specified directory, and using the folder path, this for loop opens each CSV file in every iteration to determine the number of records in it. This function calculates the minimum and maximum balance in each data file and stores it in the list. This function calculates the total checking and saving account in each data file, as well as the total checking and saving balance. This function creates a text file which merges all the data from the multiple CSV file into it. This main function calls all the other function. Here we are printing the report. Here we are generating one PDF file and writes the report into it. Here we generate another PDF file containing charts based on the report. Let me execute the program. This is the bank report generated. This is the merged data file. Let me show the PDF file created. This is the bank report copied into a PDF file for future reference. This PDF helps to visualize the key insights more effectively. Thank you. Now I invite Eric to present the conclusion.
Thank you so much, Indu, for that great, amazing demonstration of our Python program. As you've seen, we built a solution that efficiently processes and analyzes customer account data for ABC Bank. To sum it up, we analyzed file records and counts, identified highest and lowest balances, classified account types and total balances, and for the extra credit, merged all the data into a PDF file for streamlined analysis. Our work not only met, but exceeded the project goals, delivering a solution ABC Bank can rely on.
Group 4 was Alex, Bhumika, Bijal, Ethel, Danish, Jeremy, Sri, Sukumar, myself, Vishal, and Yastin. A quick agenda of what we're going to do. So we'll start with the objective. Then we'll move on to what the value proposition is going to be. Then we'll start off talking about the data model and our data approach. Then we'll move on to the model evaluations and insights. Then deployment and future scope of the projects. A live demo of what we did. And at the end, we'll have some time for questions. So starting off with our objective, the objective of this project is to develop a machine learning model that predicts whether a borrower can repay the loan in full based on financial data or credit risk factors. By leveraging Python and key data techniques, the project aims to analyze historical loan repayment data to identify patterns by influencing loan repayment, pre-process and clean data to ensure model accuracy and reliability, implement machine learning algorithms to classify loans as fully repaid or not fully repaid, evaluate model performance using accuracy, prediction, recall, and other relevant metrics, and deploy an AI-driven decision support system to enhance efficiency and reduce bias in loan repayment predictions. So our value proposition is an AI loan repayment prediction that's all smarter, faster, fairer, and more beneficial to systems that use it. Some key benefits are data-driven insights that help enhance decision-making with predictive analytics. Faster processing, so that can automate loan assignments so the customer and the bank don't have to wait too long for a loan. Risk mitigation to identify high-risk borrowers and reduce defaults. AI-powered efficiency to improve accuracy and streamline operations. And an optimized lending strategy to maximize profitability with smarter risk management. Some potential users for this AI-driven loan repayment prediction are banks and financial institutions to enhance loan approval processes. Some lending companies that can help reduce default rates and improve customer assessment. Fintech startups that can leverage AI for smarter credit risk evaluation. Credit analysts gain deeper insights into borrower behavior. And regulatory bodies ensuring fair and compliant lending practices. Now I'll pass on to Sukumar, who will talk about some of our roadmaps and visualization.
Thank you, Seth. So here, this is visualization box plot. So box plot meaning like unlocking the credit queues. So when you say box plot, it's like a window into how credit data behaves, first of all. So and then it's our first peek as a story, like when you see behind the loan repayment structure. Simple, simply it packed with info, and then it reveals at the end of the entire structure, I would say. And then the borrowers, first of all, with the high FICO scores, which is FICO, we usually say, I believe, and then say about 750 on the whole, and then get the low interest rates, often like below 10%. And I also had a scenario like when I come across friends, they also get 2% loan, which is surprising, and 1% loan, and then. And that's because like when you get good credit signals, it's also fall under reliability, and then to the bank's reward, and it reward flip side, and making our credit cards kind of with revolving all the utilization of for somebody like utilizing 80% of the entire loan or the credit card. Picture someone is juggling like 99,000 out of 10,000 credit limit. So that's not work for the banks or the lenders. So the data shows they struggle on the whole, and the pattern also random. Like the queues will use the guide loan approvers first of all, and then it sets the terms and then match up the risk. So and also I would like to mention the high FICO offers a great rate, as I mentioned earlier, maybe a smaller loan or a closer look. It helps to see fair rates, to spot trouble before it hits, and also a credit score, high or low, it's reliable to take the risk takers. Pretty much with this slide of, and then I can go to the next one, please. So that is going to be the heat visualization. So the next slide is going to talk about the heat visualization, meaning, it shows up the color coded, which is the blue and red. So it purely says that, I think, on the credit score factors, the repayment is the main priority which we are looking for when it comes to the lenders or the bank. So, like for example, excuse me, like 700 or more, as I mentioned earlier, pair of low interest rates down to and then the code blue, which makes sense clearly. That's a low level of credit, the credit percentages of the entire loan, and then who borrows. Clearly, it shows that safe lenders will be the blue, and then the red will be the high impact, and then it's also a valid guide in deciding who gets what loan. So this sharpness, like risk attachment, like no guesswork. It's all under pure data, I would say, and then tweak the offer. Bank will tweak the offers here and there, depends on the scores. And then when you put all the data, it's pretty easy and convenient for the lenders, I would say. So pretty much with this slide, and I'll pass on to Vijay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sukumar. So we always wonder how bank decide to approve or reject a loan, right? So for that thing, we try to solve that problem using AI. And for that, we used Agile dataset with around 9,600 records from 2007 to 2010. The goal was to predict if a borrower would fully repay their loan or not. So first we pre-processed the data. We encoded the category column like purpose and not fully paid. And then we removed the less useful columns and scaled the numerical ones. And since the data was imbalanced, it's like most people did repay, we used SMOT to balance it. Then we split the data 70-30 for training and testing. We trained two models, random forest, which uses multiple decision trees to boost accuracy, and logistic regression, which is simpler but more effective. Finally, we evaluated both models on the test data to see how accurately they predicted loan repayment. In short, we built a mini virtual loan officer. So now I will pass it to Ganesh, and he will take us to the model evaluation and some insights. Thank you.
Thank you, Bijal. Now we'll discuss about model evolutions and insights. So the first key factor is random forest, like it generates random forest with accuracy of 89.31%. Logistics regressions is also predicted with accuracy of 61.34%. Now, the main key findings of this model is it generates random forest outperforms logistic regression, making it a better choice for loan default prediction. Smart successfully handled class imbalance, leading to more reliable predictions. This feature's importance analysis shows FICO and interest rate as a key prediction of the loan default. Also, hyperparameter tuning improved model accuracy, optimizing performance further. Now, about the business impact, this particular model is improved risk assessment, helps lender to make better decisions for loan approvals. It also reduced default rates by identifying the high-risk borrowers with more accurately. With better customer segmentation, enables personalized loan offerings, and also optimizes lending strategies, lead to increased profitability and reduced financial risk. Now I'll invite Bhumika to perform the live demonstration. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for giving us a brief overview of our project. Now let me walk through the code where we have let me walk into the code. So these are the libraries that we have used. We use the Pandas, Matplotlib, CBOND, label encoder, and we use the random size search CV for hypertuning the data. And these are the models that Vijay talks about. We use the random forest classifier and the logistic regression. So to train the model, first we load the data. Our data was on the CSV file. Then we analyze how many numbers of rows and the columns we have. Then we check if there is any null in our data set. So we remove all the nulls from the data. Then we created some visualization that Sukumar talked about. First we did the distribution of our target variable and the different types of the loans. So here we can see that we have the imbalanced data here. Then we did the distribution of the loan purposes. So it shows how many numbers of loans we have for the debt consolidation, credit card, for home improvement, and for the other. Then we noticed that our purpose column was the categorical column. So we convert that column into the numerical, since AI works better with the numerical columns. Then using the random forest model, we identified the most features contributing the predictions for the loan default. So here we can see that installment, revolving balance, DTI, days with the credit line, logging, those are the most important features. Then we pre-process the data in the clean data set. We remove unnecessary columns, and we scale using the standard scaler to bring everything in a range, which will actually improve the model performance. Then we use Smart to balance the data set by oversampling techniques. So here you can see that after using the Smart, our data is equally distributed to the fully paid and not fully paid. We use 70% of our data to train the model and 30% to test our model. And these are the accuracy score for our model. Here you can see 89.31% for the random forest accuracy, and the logistic regression accuracy is 61.34%. We want to make see the linear, if there is any linear regression. So we did the R-squared value also, which is 0.09, which shows there are no linear regression in our data. So we go with the random forest accuracy and use that model to train our data. And then using a hyperparameter tuning with random size search CV, we train our model and save the scalar and the model. And then we build an application where with the web interface where user can actually fill out the user can fill out the inputs of the interest rate and the FICO score, and it actually predict the whether loan borrower will be able to pay the loan in time, will be able to pay the loan or not in real time. So let me walk you through the application. So the application is currently running on my server. So this is how the application form looks like, where user can insert the inputs. So it saves the information whatever I have dispensed. So interest rate is 0.18%, installment is 400, log of annual income is 9.8, DTI is 6, FICO score is 580, and the revolving balance is 50,000, and the utilization is 9. And if, the borrower made 6 inquiries in the last 6 months and 1 inquiry in the. If we click on the predict loan status, it says loan may not be fully repaid. So we can see here, since the borrower has a low FICO score and a higher revolving balance, that cause so it's from the data it looks like borrower will not be able to pay the loan. So it says the result accordingly. Now, if we click on make another prediction, and I will put the low interest rate, and we have log of annual income, higher FICO score, low revolving balance, and the utilization. 1, 0, no. And if you click on the predict loan status, it will say loan is likely to be repaid in full. So I hope this gives a clear overview of how machine learning can be applied to determine whether the borrower will be able to pay the loan or not. So that's all we have. Thank you for all listening.
Let's give a big round to this group, guys. First of all, fantastic, guys. Excellent work, because you have not only used Python, but you also use various library. And that shows like you're ready to work and ready to learn. Question: what would the maximum FICO score a person can have?
737 that we have in our data set. That's the high.
No, as in real life, what would be the maximum FICO score you can have?
I think around 800.
I believe 800.
I think you should just take that, because in a real life, these questions will come.
Sure.
Right? I think it's 815 if I'm not.
815.
Yeah, I think 815 or 820.
Yeah.
50? Yeah, because my wife's score is higher than mine, so I know it's about 800.
It's about 800, but
I think it's about 800. Yeah, but it's 815 or 850. But anyway,
sure.
Good work. Now let's say some data you obtain, right?
Right.
And the data says, no, this guy is not going to pay the loan. What corrective actions you can take? Because if you do that, you have binary decision. Binary decision means, should we give a loan or should we not give a loan? What can you do? Because if 50% you are rejecting means bank will not grow. What can you do?
So in that case, like I as I mentioned in the form, there are public. So there are no public records, which means 0. So if the user will have the low FICO score, but there are no bad credit history, still it will give a prediction that borrower might be the loan.
What about cosigner? If you can add a cosigner, right? Let's example, A person has a bad score, but B person has a good score.
Yes.
If they sign together, will score will change?
Yes.
So how your program will consider that combination of credit score?
In that case, I think we need to retrain our model, and we should allow user to two inputs in one form, should combine it. Then in that case, we will need the feature engineering process where in backend it calculates the score based on the 2 different inputs.
Very good. So Vijay, what was your exciting part in this project?
So first of all, sir, for me, when just everyone, so first we all put different ideas, and we all just set up with a loan prediction. So I didn't know anything about it, So for me specifically, I learned a lot about this process, how to when you're going to the bank, how the thing is working, you approve, reject. So for me, this is something different, and I'm very excited. Now I can confidently say that now I'm in this stuff. If someone asks me, I can do it.
Very good. Dianis, this is your first project. How did you communicate with this group?
So we do have like we schedule so first of all we had a WhatsApp group where we discuss like and also we manage the time about like we can join on WebEx or on Zoom, and then we used to set a particular time and we used to communicate during that meeting.
Very good. Now, while you are all working, like say yours, when you were working, how did you plan that this today we do this, tomorrow we'll do this week we're supposed to complete?
So in my case, I would say I joined very late on the group. So they already had that plan in place, and I try to join the group and communicate accordingly. And I asked what kind of task I can contribute with, and we went accordingly.
What about you, Sayed?
So yeah, first we started planning. We had a chat on WhatsApp. We talked about whenever it was available to be, whenever we would be on Zoom, we would try to communicate a time that would work for everyone else. Either another time, some things come up, obviously. So if that didn't work, then we would schedule like 10, 15 minutes apart, maybe an hour. Just try to make sure that everyone was involved as much as they could. So everyone had an input in that idea what we were trying to do to stay on.
Did ever you had a complete group attended the meeting?
Maybe once or twice, but it was pretty hard since we had a big group. The time that we were.
So what did you learn from that experience? Let's say you and your bigger team, contributions are limited.
Yeah.
So what did you learn from that experience?
Even if you have a small part, just to try to make sure your part either stands out or you're making sure your part's done in full. So sometimes when other team members couldn't get something done, then you would try to get involved and make sure you can either help them out or do their part if they don't need to. If they don't understand, or help them out, but how they can try to help do better in the future.
Got it. So Kumar, you are a system engineer guy, but the way you explain data analysis, I was impressed. Question is, how did you learn these new words and new techniques?
It's all about with the team, like I learned a lot of new things, because this is the first time I'm learning Python, and I wouldn't say, I know everything or, even small thing, because I have a lot of way to go. And it's all all credit goes to the team, and then Bhumika especially, and Srini and Syed, each and everybody who worked on behind the scene of the code, because I was not really hands-on with that. So I know what it is now. As Bijal mentioned, like before we were trying to take in multiple ideas were in the table, and then we chose one which already has the data, so we don't need to work on from the scratch. So at least we know how the data works, and then we can figure out the entire project. That's the core idea there. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, team.
Srini, how was your experience working with this group?
It was a great team effort. That everyone had some skills, and we kind of collaborated very well, I think.
Yeah, so just to give an idea, and I know there are some more people, but I don't think like I'm going to ask everyone every question. But what you can do, and this is what I would always encourage. If you believe like something is important, you can create a simple web service and put it in a Google, and you can start marketing, or not Google in the sense of put it in the cloud and market it. This become a product, file a patent, and you start a business. People like spend hundreds of hours by just providing few parameters. You can do your should be approved or not, and you can start socializing certain banks, certain credit union. They will become a customer. Suddenly, you will be $1 million company. Right? Sometimes we don't know what we are doing, but this is like the way it works. Right? In Chicago, there is a building in Chicago Merchandise Market, 1871, I believe, or 1872. We can go and present this. I can give you guarantee $2 to $3 million people will invest minimum.
So our project is stock price prediction. We have a very dynamic team: Justin, Kang, Malak, myself, Ramya, Tatiana. Everybody cooperated very well in spite of their. Most of them are participating in internship also. Even then, their contribution is remarkable. Moving on. This in financial decision making, stock price prediction is a crucial part. Investors as well as traders rely on accurate prediction so that to make informed decisions about when to buy or when not to buy stocks, and also sell stocks also. This project uses a machine learning approach to predict future stock prices based on historical data. And also in this project, we used Apple stock to analyze the data because Apple is a widely followed stock in the market. And we used Y Finance API, the library, a Python library, to download the stock data from Apple Inc. And Apple has a large amount of historical data. So it's a good stock to test prediction models because we can easily evaluate model performance. Moving on. We have several objectives. I'm sorry. Our project main objective are to collect historical stock data, pre-process it, develop and train the LSTM model, and visualize the results. These steps are designed to predict future stock prices. The libraries we used in this project are the Y Finance, Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, scikit-learn. And as I already said, Y Finance is for fetching stock data. NumPy used for numerical computing, and the scikit-learn for data processing, scaling, and evaluation metrics. Matplotlib for visualization. Moving on. The LSTM stands for long short-term memory neural network. A neural network is a type of machine learning model. LSTM, which is a type of recurring neural network, its main use is to create a model that can learn from past stock prices to forecast future trends. LSTM gives investors and traders an edge in the market. The long-term dependencies making them ideal for stock price prediction. Minimax scaler is, once we have the data, we need to pre-process it to make it usable for our model. This mini-max scaler is used to normalize the data to a range between 0 and 1, which helps our model learn better and faster. Normalization means it's a process of adjusting the values of numerical data to a common scale. And MSE stands for mean absolute error, and RMSE stands for root mean squared error. MAE tells us to measure the average of the absolute differences between predicted and actual values, whereas RMSE gives us a sense of how large the errors are with a higher penalty for larger errors. Moving on. As I said, this data collection, we collect stock data from Yahoo Finance, which provides reliable real-time financial data. We focus on key metrics like the stock's opening price, closing price, highest price, lowest price, and trading volumes. These are if we take an Excel, these are the columns we have. And data pre-processing is crucial because the machine learning model as I said, LSTM works best when they are trained on normalized data. It also helps the model better capture trends and patterns in stock price behavior. Moving on. Model development. We train our LSTM model using historical star data we used from 2005 to 2005 as of today. These metrics are essential for measuring the accuracy of the model's predictions. Lower values indicates better model performance. This comes when I show in the demo, you will understand better about lower values. The meaning the model is more likely to predict stock prices accurately in real world scenario. So now I will show you the live demo. I will, Ramya, please stop sharing. I will. If we run our program repeatedly, it is because scaling and rescaling, it is obstructing. So first I am going to show you the already ran program I executed, then I will execute a new one again. This is the first program, this is data pre-process. In this we are getting, as I said, these are the columns, and we have 5097 rows in our data. These are the columns. And from that I am splitting the data. This is the test data and the training data. I splitted it, and we are going to take this test data for our analysis. This is my third program. It is a stock prediction. In this, these are the steps. In each steps you can see 04, 03, 02, 003, like that. I have 100 hypotheses. In each step, model evaluates, and the basic point is to get the highest prediction possible. And the mean absolute error is 8.6 for when I ran this program, and RMS is 11.9, and I added R square also. It is giving me 8.81 at this point of time. And then I calculated real-time stock price. This is an yesterday at 11 o'clock. The stock price going predicted for today. The stock price is a closing price, 204. And actually yesterday it was 188. Now I will show you the actual demo. See, this is the one. Now I am splitting the data here. No, this will give me the prediction. See, this is the graph. 180 around, let us say 185 is actual price, and the predicted value for today is around 204. That if I run the next program, I will get the exact value. This is for the for the today. somehow.
You're running multiple times. It's going to be running in the background. Check your background. Or you may want to stop Control C somewhere. Your program is running multiple times.
Okay, I'll close this.
Your output window, you can do Control C because it might be hang.
Oh.
Output window where you have blue color, you may want to do Control C or terminate that. Yeah, Control C or terminate that window because that window is hang.
Yeah. This kind of things will happen. That's why I thought of showing you first the RAN program, and yeah, now it is going.
So, okay, good morning, colleagues. We are presenting our Python project. So let's begin. Our team is includes me, Titana Pavras, and Lyubov Shkurihina. Okay, so our project, we did 2 projects. Like first, we started to do this with resume comparing with ChatGPT, but we had an error. It was before Mr. Patel showed us that it's okay to have this error, but we couldn't like sleep. We spent 7 hours to fix this error. We couldn't do it, so we just did what we can do. So we made a local program for comparing. This is the reason why we have this project, and also we have 1 week more left, so we decided maybe we do something easy, like so we will learn something new also. So this is the reason why we have 2 projects. Okay, and now I give a word to Lyubov, so she will talk more about first project, and I will present it later.
Allows prototyping and development of basic Our project is stimulated with for pickups and drop-offs in New York City. The app will allow users to interactively build data, visualize patterns, and filter results rapidly. So the process is the basics of STEM. Interactive will provide code safe, changes instantly, iterate. Key features, real-time as you modify your code, easy integration with libraries like Pandas and Pandas. Brilliant.
Okay, so now I will show our first project with the Streamlights. First, I will start with the code and will explain to you. The first of all, we imported libraries. Sorry for my bad for okay. Streamlit is used for creating the interactive app application interface. Pandas is handling and manipulating the data, and Python is NumPy is used for numeric operation like calculating histograms. Second, we have titles. Of course, the user, when he go to the site, he needs to know where he came. So next is we have data setup is data column, data and time. This specifies the column containing the data and the time. This is the URL, it's where the data is stored. So it stores in CSV files and on Amazon S3. Next, we have a data loading function. So data loading, we have set up a cache for, sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, data setup for director, which helps in caching the data so that it doesn't need to be reloaded every time the app is used. But probably it's not so perfect, because all the time when you start a program again, it's you need to reload everything. So it's not so perfect as we see. Next, we have data. Like it shows reads the data from the URL. And we have the converts all column names for the lowercase using the Lambda, probably it's correct, so this name of this function, and converts data and time column to format to allow the easier manipulation of data and time. And next, it's displaying, loading data. Next, we have also to show raw data. No, it's basically when we have a first 10,000 rows, it displays using this on the website. We have a number of picks ups by hours, calculating how many Uber pickups occur during each hour of the day. Also, we have our selection. Our selection is creates a slider allowing the user to select a specific hour from 0 to 23. The default values is set up to 17, we see, and filtered data by hour. So we have, and displaying the map for pickups. So now I will show you the stream website. Sorry, I already. So usually you do it from the command prompt. You need to have it go to your directory and use the command prompt to open this website. So as you see, we have a title, we have show row data, but we cannot see it, like, because we have no 10,000. Also, we have this by pickup. It's changing. Oh, it's slowly changing. We need to clear. Also, we have a problem. So sometimes we need to clear cache, and to clear cache, we also can do it from the command prompt. So the website will work perfectly. And yes, for the pickups, you can see, depending on the time, it's changing. Yes, so this is our Streamlit project. And next we go to our next project. One second. Next project is our free resume analyzer. The purpose of this was an automated tool to match your resume with a job description and provide recommendations. And we used, of course, our Python standard libraries. And Lubov, I'll give a word to explain more about this program, and after I will show you.
So the overview of the project, what is the program does? It analyzes the resume and job description, providing a match score from 0 to 100, identify matching keywords, offer actionable recommendations within the resume. Key features. It's autonomous tools, works without needing an internet connection or external API keys. Simple Python code utilizes built-in Python functions and libraries. Detailed analysis, breakdown, similarities and differences between the resume and the job description. How to use this program. Prepare for test files in the same folder, job.txt and resume.txt. Run the program, Python script using results, programs with analyzer files, and we generate the result will be saved and results to .txt. In a real-life example, is a resume for develop application using Python. After design and develop application using Python, running tests, properly design and testings. By making the specific changes, your resume will match better with a job description. Involving considerations. First, word markup analysis works based on word matching, not understanding the meaning. Secondly, better for technical jobs. The tool works best with roles where specific keywords and technical skills are critical. And third, for creative jobs, more focus is needed on results and features, not just
Also, because like it's so hard to hear you, sorry. Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to our second project. As you see, like, of course, we imported libraries. Its models are imported for tasks like handling, text cleaning, word counting, and calculating symmetry scores. And our class is resume matcher. It's initialized, it said stop words, for example, me, my, yours, yourself, etc. And we have several methods. so it's like it's processes text. It's cleans the input text. By removing punctuation, converting text to lowercase, and splitting text into words, while filtering out stop words and short words less than 4 characters. Another function we have extract keywords. This is the most frequent words keywords from the given text. It uses the counter class to count words occurrences and returns the top and most common words. Next, we have calculate similarity. Calculates similarity scores between 2 pieces of text. It first calculates it in Jacquard's similarity. Sorry, and which is the proportion of common words to total distinct words between the 2 texts. Then we have sequence similarity, which measures how similar the actual word sequence are, and the final similarity score is the weighted average of those 2 scores. This one. Next, we have a method analyze match. So this is a core function that analyzes the match between the resume and job description. For this, we have it calculates the similarity score. It extracts keywords from both the resume and job description. It compares the keywords finding, matching, missing keywords, and generates comprehensive analysis report that includes all what we have. Also, we have match score from 0 to 100, list of matching and missing keywords. We have top matching, important keywords, and also we have suggestion for improvement. And we have file reading. So for this program, it's most important that you have your program and text in one folder, so otherwise it will not gonna work. And the main, it shows the initialization under the sorry, get input files, verify files exist, and read files. So let me show you how like it's how it works. So if we will run our model, you will see. Basically, we have in my folder, we have resume, and for developer, for example, with Django full stack for the Python, and job description. As you see, full stack, web developer, and resume. Can you see it? Education, like it's basic, like. And from this, we have analysis results that shows that resume job matching like was 13 to 100, so it's bad. You need to improve. This is the improved missing keywords and suggestion what you can do like for this. Oh, sorry. And yeah, that works. That's how it works. And maybe not so good as ChatGPT, but that's what we wanted to do like from the local machine. And
Good.
yes.
Very, very good. So a couple of questions, Tanya and Lou.
Yeah, we have questions, concerns, doubts for everyone.
Did you enjoy the project work?
Yes, we did. We like spent, for example, for this, when we have errors, 7 hours to fix it, and we couldn't. Like after next week, you told us that it's we cannot fix it, so you need to try it in the morning, and we tried it in the morning. Wherever you need to pay, and we weren't if you pay so we spent. So we decided like to do something new, like what we can do, because we need this project done, and we want like to share our experience. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Like this is like required effort. I think seems like you guys put effort, and that is called fighter never give up. Right, you have to fight. Right, fight. So thank you. I don't want to take too much. I want to do again. You can do much better. But you and your group need to really say, guys, why am I not putting more effort? Let's do more. Or now let's assume you have more months. You and your partners or team members can retrospect and say, can we meet again and we'll do one more project, right? Can you, I saw this, they did a web development, they did this thing. Can we take like some benefit from others and come up with that? Till you get a job, you keep working hard.